great news. Canon has just released a new firmware update 1.6.0 for the Canon EOS R5, for the Canon EOS R6, and also for the Canon EOS R3. But it's mainly focusing on the video side of the camera. So I'm gonna update my Canon EOS R5. You can update your Canon EOS R6 or R3. And I'm gonna look at what those updates mean for the Canon EOS R5. And also you look what those updates mean for your camera as well. And there is some improvement. Quickly, yeah, I'm just gonna explain what I understand from this improvement, yeah. First point, I'm gonna translate it in a simple language that you understand, you and me understand. The first point of that improvement is to deal with the overheating. You know, currently you have those kind of standby low res on, then you can record, right? Overheating. But when it's overheat, the camera shut down. So the first improvement is that now you have other options. It's called auto power off temp. You have standard and you have high. So if you select it, you put on the high, although the camera will overheat, but it does not shut down like the previous version. I think that is a really great improvement. So you can still record for longer. Because before the camera will shut down. When it's overheat, bam, you're locked out, the camera shut down. So that is a massive improvement. And the second improvement that is really interesting is to deal with the digital IS. Yeah. So we know that, you know, the IS, you know, the image stabilization kind of wobbling when it's in your wide angle, it's kind of wobbling in those corners. So this one is to deal with that as well, movie digital IS. So stabilize the image when taking selfie or working shot using the wide angle lens, right? And then, you know, we have other fixes like a minor issues. But for me, the most important, the most interesting part of the improvement is to deal with the overheating, and the second one is to deal with the IS. All right. So now I'm gonna download it and I'm gonna update it, and then let's see with the new firmware what those improvements are. So quickly, let's just download. So if you are here, so I choose the EOS R5 firmware update version 1.6.0 for Mac. So if you are on Windows, you choose Windows. And if you have the EOS R6, so you choose for the EOS R6 and so. But I need the EOS R5, so I'm gonna select the EOS R5, click firmware update, and here we are in that page, and then we just download it. Now it's downloading. It's gonna finish downloading. But I'm gonna use the method because there's a two-way of, you know, updating that. Either you use SD card or you use, you know, the other method of using the app. But I'm just gonna use the SD card. I'm gonna upload here, and then we're just gonna download it. It's simple. All right, so great. Here's my download. I'm in my download folder, and here is the firmware update. So I'm just gonna open it, and then I'm gonna open the package, and here I opened it. And you see, that is the thing that we need. So that's the file that we need. So I'm going to copy and put it in the root folder of my SD card. I'm just going to put it here in the root folder. I'm copying into the root folder of the SD card. And that is done. And I'm just going to eject it. So it's eject. I'm going to remove it. And here I am. I'm going to insert it in my, I insert it in the Canon EOS R5. So it's inserted in the Canon EOS R5. And then now I'm going to start the process of, you know, updating that. Okay, so now we're going to go and try to update it, update the firmware here. So I'm going to go in here, go into number 6, and here we see, so firmware version 1.5.2, that's the current firmware version. So we click on it, all right, and we click on update camera firmware as needed. Yes, we click on the camera, click, we say current firmware version is 1.5.2, update firmware, okay, and okay, and now is updating. Yeah, it's gonna be updating. So it's gonna take a few minutes to be able to update that. So I'm just gonna put it down for now, and when it's finished updating, then I'm going to let you know, and then we can see what are those improvements. Right, so bear with me for a second. So we are almost done. It's less than 3% now to go, and then the firmware will be updated. So it took us less than 10 minutes to update it. I'm gonna press OK. All right, so now the firmware is updated. So let's go into the menu and just check it. I'm in the menu. You can see now firmware version 1.6.0. So it's updated less than 10 minutes. All right, it just took me less than 10 minutes to update it. Last week, I have done a video updating my Sony a7S III, and it took me ages and cumbersome and complicated. That's what I was saying about the difference between updating the Canon firmware or updating the Sony firmware. You see the difference so easy, right? So now let's go back and look at what are the changes. So here's the first thing, is about the Power Off Temp. Yeah. So we have now, in addition, we have that auto Power Off Temp, and then because initially, you know that now I put them side by side. Before, we have just standby low res, but now there is that addition, auto Power Off Temp, and then you can select between high or standard. So when we select high, recording time may be extended. Please be careful when touching the camera and the car, as they may get hotter than standard. So that's to improve the case of the overheating, where when it's overheat, it just shut down. It doesn't move forward. So now we have high, and then with that high, you have the opportunity to shoot longer, right? So that's one key element. So what I'm gonna be doing, so I don't want to make this video long. So next week, I'm gonna shoot a video about putting all those things in test with the new firmware update, with the new improvement, and then we can see, is those improvement, is it the overheating has been improved? Can we shoot longer than 25 minutes? And so, and then also I'm going to look at the other improvement that, you know, the Canon also bring with that new firmware update. So for you not to miss that, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. So I'm going to put that video next week and to put it on test and exactly answer the question, what does that mean for us with that new firmware update for the people that own the Canon EOS R5? So it's an exciting video coming, so do not miss that. So in the same time, if you find this video useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, then. So that's what it is. So now we update the Canon EOS R5 to the latest firmware update 1.6.0. The firmware link is in the description below, so you can download it. Right? So, Hakuna Matata, my friend. It's me here, your boy, Kolbasia, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay protected, and may God bless you. Bye for now. Ciao. See you next week.